Dear Diary, August 2nd, 2023. I can't shake off the shivers that still crawl down my spine as I sit here, penning down the events of the night that will forever be etched into the darkest corners of my mind. Every time I close my eyes, I am transported back to that forsaken gas station, the chilling wind that danced with the rustling leaves and the all-encompassing dread that gripped my heart in its icy claws. It's as if the horrors of that night have permanently etched their presence into my soul. It all began when my car sputtered to a stop on that desolate stretch of road far from any signs of life. The sky was cloaked in a thick blanket of obsidian, not a single star daring to pierce through the heavy clouds. My cell phone, cursed with a battery life as short-lived as my bad luck, had died just minutes earlier. Panic began to weave its tendrils through my mind, entwining itself with the reality of my situation. With no other choice, I set out on foot, hoping to find some form of help or civilization in this forgotten corner of the world. My footsteps echoed in the silence, creating an eerie symphony of isolation. As I walked, the only source of light came from the flickering neon sign in the distance. A gas station. Its windows shattered and its paint peeling stood like a solitary sentinel against the encroaching darkness. The air was heavy with the stench of decay that seemed to cling to the very walls of the building. I hesitated, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end, but desperation compelled me to continue. The old door creaked open with an agonizing groan as if protesting my intrusion. The interior was suffocating, illuminated only by a single dim bulb that cast long, distorted shadows across the grimy wooden floor. Shelves that were once stocked with snacks and supplies now stood barren, like the skeletal remains of a once thriving life. My footsteps echoed ominously as I navigated the narrow aisles, searching for any sign of life or a working phone. The unsettling feeling of being watched clung to me like a second skin, and every rustle and creak seemed to echo with malicious intent. A sudden, spine-chilling gust of wind blew through the broken windows, extinguishing the feeble light bulb. I was plunged into a darkness so thick that it felt almost tangible, wrapping around me like a malevolent shroud. My heart raced as I fumbled in my pocket for my phone, praying that it miraculously still held a spark of life. The screen remained lifeless, mocking my futile hope. As the darkness pressed in, I could hear a soft, guttural whispering all around me. It was as if the very walls were murmuring secrets they had harbored for years. My breath hitched in my throat, and I stumbled backward, crashing into a shelf and sending a cascade of long-forgotten products crashing to the floor. The whispering grew louder, more insistent, and I felt a cold, clammy breath on the back of my neck. I turned, my heart pounding in my chest, and was met with a sight that froze me in my tracks. A figure, clad in tattered rags that seemed to meld with the shadows, stood before me. Its eyes, if they could be called that, were hollow voids that seemed to swallow all light. A guttural, otherworldly sound emanated from its form, and I felt a wave of nauseating terror wash over me. I wanted to run, to flee from this abominable apparition, but my legs were rooted to the spot. The whispering grew deafening, filling every corner of my mind, and I clutched my head in my hands as if trying to block out the invading presence. The figure advanced, its movements disjointed and unnatural like a marionette being pulled by invisible strings. In that heart-stopping moment, my vision blurred, the world around me spinning and warping until finally darkness claimed me. When I awoke, I was back in my car, the morning sun casting a gentle glow over the world outside. The gas station was nowhere to be seen, as if it had been swallowed by the earth itself. My heart still raced, my body drenched in a cold sweat, and I couldn't shake the feeling that the horrors I had experienced were more than just a dream. As I sit here now, I am haunted by the chilling certainty that what I encountered was no mere nightmare. It was a glimpse into the realm of terror that exists on the fringes of our reality, a place where darkness and malevolence converge in a symphony of unspeakable dread. I can only hope that I am the sole witness to such horrors, that the gas station remains lost in the abyss where it rightfully belongs. But the whispering lingers in the recesses of my mind, a constant reminder that some nightmares are far too real to be easily forgotten. This will be my last diary entry. If you are reading this, I believe the curse has now been passed on to you.